Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Tech Motoring. On today's episode we're going to be looking at this product here. These are the LED puddle lights for your Tesla vehicle made by Arcoche. So we're going to get these installed today on this Tesla Model 3 and take a look at how they look, how they function, and is this something really worth for you to put on your Tesla vehicle. So hit that subscribe button, stay tuned. We're coming right back at you. All right, everybody, well, welcome back. So like I was saying, we got these really cool LED puddle lights by Arcoche. So these are actually puddle lights that go underneath the front door of your Tesla vehicle, and they actually just replace what's already there. So there's no wiring that needs to be done. You just actually have to replace the physical module that plugs in with one plug, and that's it, you're all done. And the cool thing about these is that these actually have the Tesla logo in them, so when you open the door at nighttime you should have that Tesla logo on the ground, which is going to look pretty cool. So this is the close-up of it right here. It's just a small module with the lens on it, with obviously that has the Tesla logo somewhere in there. So this is actually a whole module replacement. It's not just like you're replacing the little plastic lens, you're actually replacing the entire light module of that puddle light, which is really cool. So it looks like it doesn't take very much to do this. You just have to pop this out. It has clips that hold this in, just retention clips. And so they do give you this screwdriver to pop out those lenses. I'm not going to use a screwdriver just because it's steel and you don't want to scratch the paint. So I'm going to use a little plastic tool to pry this out nice and easily. And we're going to go ahead and get this installed on the vehicle right now for you. So a couple things we have to do ahead of time is disconnect the 12-volt battery under the hood, and then we have to disconnect the high voltage battery that's under the back seat. I'm not going to show you the whole process of how to do that. It's pretty easy. You just pop the trim piece off underneath the hood, you disconnect your 12-volt battery, and then under the back seat of this vehicle at least, there is a plug that you have to pop off, and then all the voltage from your vehicle will be drained, and then you can safely replace these lights. I personally, even though it is 12 volts, I personally don't like disconnecting and connecting 12-volt products on a vehicle without first removing power from the vehicle. So I want to make sure that we at least do this correctly. So we're going to go ahead and get this put into the vehicle right now, and then you can take a look at what it looks like for the finished product. All right, so one of the things you'll notice is that the puddle light always has power going to it, as you can see from here. So even if we go into the system here and we go to the settings, safety, scroll to the bottom, hit power off, which we'll do, once the car is powered off, you'll notice that these puddle lights actually still do have, let me try to get the camera out of here, they still do have power. And so what we have to do here is we actually have to disconnect the 12-volt battery, and we're going to take this plastic piece off, which came off really easily. It just snaps off real easily, no screws. And then we just have to disconnect this to take the 12-volt away from the power of the vehicle. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, which I believe is as simple as pulling up on that, pulling back here, and then pulling up on that. Once you get the 12-volt battery disconnected using that, then what you actually have to do is lift the back seat up, go underneath, and then we have to pull the high voltage connector that's right there. Now this video is not about how to do all that stuff, so if you're not sure how to do that stuff already, consult another video on YouTube. But once we do that, then you can see here that the light is now off. We now have no 12 volts going into the car electronics, so now we can safely remove those lights and get this changed out. All right, well, this should be a pretty simple process. As you can see, we have no light here, so that means we've disconnected all the voltage properly. We're just going to, right here, you could see this slightly different part of the plastic, and that's where they want you to stick something in to pry it out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start there, and we're just going to very gently pry this out. Sometimes these could be a little tricky. All right. As you can see, there's a clip here and there's a clip here. So it's better if you push in and try to grab one of these clips, push it in, pull this down just a hair, and then push that clip in. Then it should come out pretty easily. Once we get this far, you can see that there is the plug right here. So what you want to do here is you want to just push down right here in the clip, and then that will release the little harness there, like so. And there you go, your puddle light is now out. The nice thing about the Arcoche one is they give you a little pigtail on the end of it, which is kind of cool. So all you got to do is plug this into that piece there, like so. We could tuck this back up in the door. And then the thing I want to make a point here is that that little area where they put the little notch for you to put your tool in, that little spot right there should go in the same direction as the old one. So what we want to do is we'll make sure we point that back towards the car, which is where it was, and then we are going to pop that back in like so. And that's all there is to it. Pretty simple. All right, now we've gone ahead and got both of the puddle lights installed. So now we have to put power back to the car, and then we'll be able to see how they look. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the lights are on now, and as you can see, the puddle light is now illuminated, the Tesla logo there with the shield around it. Looks really, really cool, but obviously we can't see it really well. So let's go ahead and turn the lights off and take a look at this. All right, well, there we go. So as you can see, that is a really, really cool puddle light. So question for you, is this backwards? Leave it in the comments. I am curious to know if this is backwards. Should the Tesla logo be facing 180 degrees or should it be like that? So right now we're looking at, that's the front door of the car right there. There's the interior. So is that backwards? Let's see how it is when we close the door, open the door. There's the Tesla logo. I think that's backwards. I think I'm going to flip those around. All right, well, there we go. I think that looks better. So there's the passenger side of the vehicle. There's the door open. There's the Tesla logo. It literally took me 30 seconds to flip those. I didn't have to disconnect the 12 volt again or anything just because you're not disconnecting the wiring harness. You're just disconnected, or you're just basically pulling those tabs, flipping it around, and then pushing it back up into the door. So really, really cool. And, you know, I'm not editing this video to make that look any better. That's literally how it looks on my garage floor. And, yeah, that looks really, really cool. Let's get a real good close-up of it. All right, everybody. Well, there you go. Those are the Arcoche puddle lights for your Tesla vehicle. I think they look fantastic, and it's definitely a little eye-catching too when somebody opens the door and they see that logo across the ground like that. That is really neat. But anyway, I really thought that this was an easy process to install. Really, the biggest problem is just getting to your 12-volt battery area to connect the 12-volt battery again, and then having to disconnect and reconnect the high-voltage battery under the back seat. But really, that process is simple, and like I said, you can find plenty of videos online on how to do that. Anyway, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this episode today. These waterproof puddle lights for the Tesla vehicle are awesome looking. So I'm really looking forward to having these when people walk up to the car and they see the puddle lights open up like that. I think that's going to be really cool. Anyway, thanks again for watching today's video. If this is something you're interested in, make sure you go down into the description below the video. I'll have a link right there. And if you use my promo code of TechMotoring at checkout, you'll get 20% off your puddle lights for your Tesla. So an awesome savings from Arcoche. So I'd like to thank them very much again for sending me the product and for allowing me to review it and putting it on my vehicle. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to click the link below, and we'll see you on the next episode. And remember, welcome to the future and welcome to Tech Motoring. Have a good one.